on Carolina News. Another missile in the air. North Korea fired a ballistic missile this afternoon. Oh dear. Find out how one disease could be affecting wildlife in the Midlands. Rocking around the Christmas tree. One Massachusetts family attempts to bring home a Christmas tree, but ran into a slight problem along the way. All this and more coming up now on Carolina News.
From the University of South Carolina, your news, your sports, your weather. Carolina News begins now.
Hello and welcome to Carolina News. I'm Matt Cather.
From the Kennedy Greenhouse, good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Haley Ingram. We have breaking news. A North Korean missile was fired today toward the Sea of Japan, according to South Korean military officials.
Officials say North Korea launched the missile eastward early Wednesday local time. Almost 2 months had passed since North Korean leader Kim Jong-un had tested any missiles, which had concerned United States defense and intelligence officials. North Korea has tested 15 missiles in the past few months. U.S. officials believe that by 2018, North Korea will have missiles with attached warheads that can reach the U.S. President Trump said that he and his advisors will discuss the implications.
The holiday season is approaching, and for most people, that means shopping for your loved ones. But does that make you at a higher risk for your vehicle being broken into? Brianna Morales has the story.
We have a fence that we never used. We literally had a padlock and a chain and everything. We just never really thought to use it. We didn't think anyone would actually come into our fenced-in backyard and mess with our stuff.
But Dylan Lucas, a senior at the University of South Carolina, was wrong. Things changed when his car was broken into this past summer.
It's scary, obviously, because I could have been there. This was over the summer, so I was the only one living in the house at the time. If there was one guy, I would hope if I were to actually come outside and I were home, he would just run away and not try to fight me. But then again, you never know.
And Dylan's story is similar to so many others. According to information released by Columbia Police Department, vehicle break-ins have increased over 25% in the last 4 years alone. And with holidays right around the corner, if you don't follow the proper safety precautions, a couple well-thought-out gifts could turn into a whole lot of headache.
Lieutenant Curtis Wilson, Public Information Officer for Richland County Sheriff's Department, explains why holidays are a cause for an increase in auto break-ins.
Well, it's one of those things where it's seasonal. It spikes up, then it spikes down, spikes up. And of course, around the holidays, it's going to spike up again. A lot of folks are going to go out shopping. And when they go out shopping, they'll leave packages or other items inside that vehicle. Doors are left open, items are inside, or they see these packages and they're breaking in.
And Lieutenant Wilson stresses the importance of storing purchased goods safely.
It's one of those things where, again, we truly continue to preach to make sure you lock your doors. We continue to preach not to leave items in plain view. This will help cut down on those individuals who are going around pulling up door handles or looking inside your car. Make sure you park in well-lit areas as well. That also reduces becoming a victim.
By following these steps, you can help prevent yourself from going through something similar to Dylan and the other 2,000 Columbia residents who got their cars broken into this past year. For Carolina News, I'm Brianna Morales.
Lieutenant Curtis Wilson also urges people to remember not to leave their cars running unattended, even if just for a minute, because that's how fast vehicle theft can happen.
A 2-year-old boy and his father have been injured after a City of Sumpter truck rammed into their home Monday. According to Highway Patrol, the truck ran off the shoulder of the road near the corner of McCrae's Mill and Perry Boulevard. The truck traveled through the home, injuring the child. The child's mom says her boy had to be airlifted to the hospital but will be okay. It's still unclear why the driver lost control of the vehicle. Authorities say a 13-year-old Richland County boy died after he fell into Lake Carolina on Saturday afternoon. The Richland County Sheriff's Department says Jalen Antonio Jones drowned after falling into the lake while skipping rocks on the spillway. The police report shows the teen tried several times to get out of the water but couldn't. Friends and family remember Jones as an energetic boy. The incident occurred only 6 days after his 13th birthday.
The City of West Columbia water will be turned off tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. This comes as a result of necessary water line and fire hydrant repairs in the city. After the water is turned back on, residents in the area will be under a boil water advisory until further notice. And it seemed like it was finally starting to cool down outside, but the last couple of weeks have been surprisingly warm. DJ Chaffman is on the Horseshoe to tell us how it's looking outside today. DJ?
Yeah, we've had pretty nice weather today, although it's not what you typically associate with a late November day. Temperatures outside are at around 66 degrees. We've only got a little bit of humidity sitting right around 32%. As far as wind goes, we haven't really seen that much. It's only moving at about 2 miles an hour. As we move into the rest of the week, temperatures should stay pretty similar to what we're seeing, as it'll stay in the 60s for the most part. As we move into the weekend, we might see a little bit of rain. I'll have more on that later in the show during my full forecast. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, DJ. Pollution is a growing concern for Americans, and that includes us here in South Carolina. Katie Anger has more on what our community leaders are doing to help.
In 2012, the Environmental Protection Agency and National Highway Traffic Safety Administration set standards that aim to double the efficiency of cars and trucks by 2025. Today in South Carolina, Columbia leaders spoke to promote these standards further for the health of South Carolinians.
The government and automakers have worked diligently to establish EPA and DOT clean car standards that will not only strive towards cleaner air quality, but move the industry into the direction of more fuel-efficient vehicles that can be the catalyst for new technology, new energy sources, and more job creation.
But the standards in place already benefit South Carolina greatly, with more efficient vehicle choices, which then reduce the impact of oil use and allow users to save more at the pump. According to Ernie King of the Columbia AAA branch, while effective and safe transportation is what they strive for, they also work to help the health of the environment and their customers.
Protecting the environment and each other's health are also of utmost importance to us, which again, having safe, clean cars is a way for all consumers to have as much control over that as we can.
Air pollution contributes to several ailments that much of the population already suffers from. But the speakers are striving for more to be done in order to protect our community from further damage. Shaquila James of the Moms Clean Air Force spoke on behalf of moms across the state who expressed daily worry over the well-being of their kids.
We want strong standards that reduce air pollution from cars. We should not be rolling back vital health protections for our families.
As the strength of these standards are continued to be tested, these speakers urge members of the community to use public transit systems and other transportation means that can save in more ways than one. Katie Anger, Carolina News.
Using public transit, such as the Comet here in Columbia, helps reduce traffic counts and reduce air pollution, which in the end contributes to better quality of life.
President Trump is taking heat for a comment that he made during an Oval Office ceremony yesterday. The White House ceremony was being held to honor 3 Navajo veterans of World War II. Just a few moments after calling them very, very special men, the president then took a shot at Senator Elizabeth Warren.
You were here long before any of us were here. Although we have a representative in Congress who they say was here a long time ago. They call her Pocahontas.
Senator Warren called the remark unfortunate and said it should have been a celebration of their incredible service.
Sticking with President Trump, Donald Trump is headed to Capitol Hill to push Republican lawmakers to his tax bill. Senate Majority Whip John Cornyn tells reporters that Republicans do not yet have the votes needed to pass the bill. Senate Republicans can only afford to lose 1 vote today in the Budget Committee, but at least 2 senators are still voicing concerns. Ron Johnson is one of them, and he says he will vote no because the bill is unfair to millions of small business owners. If Johnson votes no, the bill will stall in the committee until changes are made.
And coming up after the break, find out more about a disease that could affect hunters this season.
Hey guys. the strongest families are built one moment at a time. For more ways to make every day count, visit facebook.com/makeeverydaycount.
Millions of people face orthodontic problems. Left untreated, they can detract from dental, physical, and emotional health. Detection and treatment by an orthodontist is the key to preventing and correcting these problems. With 2 to 3 years of advanced, specialized education beyond dental school, orthodontists are dentistry's experts in the field of orthodontics. They're dedicated to straightening teeth and jaws. A healthy, attractive smile is priceless. Put yours in the care of the most qualified professional.
Ivanka Trump is making an important solo outing by headlining a business conference in India. Ivanka Trump landed in India on Tuesday. She is scheduled to make the opening address at the Global Entrepreneurship Summit. The summit aims to support female entrepreneurs and promote global economic growth. Trump is expected to host at least 2 panel discussions before leaving Wednesday, and while there, she doesn't plan on addressing the media.
If you followed the war on terror, you would know about the U.S. detention facility in Guantanamo Bay. Well, it turns out that there's a secret U.S. detention system in the war on drugs, and this one is aboard U.S. Coast Guard cutters. When these cutters capture a boat carrying drugs, the smugglers are brought onto the ship and shackled until the Coast Guard makes arrangements for them to be transported. Officials say that they could do this because the drug smugglers aren't under arrest until they reach U.S. shores. Deer are prized to many hunters, but just like any other animal, they can get sick from time to time. Kyron Beal has a story.
Chronic wasting disease, or CWD, is a progressive neurological disease affecting deer and elk in 23 states and 2 Canadian provinces. The animal disease is different than what we are used to, as it is a protein that causes the disease and not a bacteria or virus. But Charles Ruth, a wildlife biologist and big game coordinator for the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources, believes South Carolina is not at any risk for now.
But again, I think we're in a pretty good situation considering where we are on the map and our history of not allowing interstate movement of animals.
The commercial industry of deer is non-existent in South Carolina, but Ruth believes it could have contributed to the spread in other states. The problem with identifying the disease is that the animal must have a piece of brain removed before being able to test for the disease. The incubation period for it can also take years.
But no, I'm not downplaying this disease at all. This is perhaps the biggest wildlife disease issue that we've ever seen in North America.
Luckily, South Carolina has tested over 6,000 deer in the state, and we appear to be free of worry at the moment. Ruth's outer state counterparts have praised South Carolina's prior awareness.
They say, y'all were so smart years ago not to allow these commercial movements of animals because in most of these states now they're shutting their doors.
And for now, there is no worry for humans as it is believed to be a species-specific disease. As more information becomes available with the Center of Disease Control, we will be sure to keep you updated. Carolina News, Kyron Beal.
If you see a deer while hunting that looks sickly, please contact SCDNR at your regional office.
A Virginia mother is facing charges after trying to prove her daughter was being bullied. She put a digital audio recorder in her 9-year-old daughter's backpack to get proof of the bullying. Sarah Sims tried to contact Ocean View Elementary School in Norfolk, Virginia, for months about her daughter's alleged bullies, but never got a response. That's when she decided to take matters into her own hands. Sims was charged earlier this month with a felony use of a device to intercept oral communication. She faces up to 5 years in prison.
A fast food favorite is looking to open up a new store in the heart of Columbia. Yellow zoning signs have popped up around the recently closed Harper's restaurant as Zaxby's looks to take over its location. The 5 Points Association has confirmed that the popular chain has applied for zoning exemption to allow a drive-thru on the Hardin Street site. The Board of Zoning Appeals is set to discuss this in a meeting on December 12th. A Columbia holiday tradition continued on Monday night as hundreds of people gathered at the State House for its 51st annual Governor's Carol Lighting celebration. The event was full of music, singing, and a word from Governor Henry McMaster. But of course, It was the lighting of the Christmas tree that stole the show, as more than 13,000 lights and 900 ornaments lit up the grounds. The lighting of the tree officially marks the start of the holiday season.
That's right, the holiday season is in full swing, and there are only a couple days left in November. And that's really hard to believe. DJ, tell us what we should expect with the temperatures heading into tomorrow.
Yeah, it's still feeling really nice out here. Temperatures are still right around 66 degrees. As we move into the evening, we should see them drop into the 40s. But as we move into tomorrow, we could see them climb into the 70s. I'll have more on that for you after the break.
This is our game, our passion. This is what we live for. 24/7.
He don't just run for first down. This man runs for touchdown.
This is where our season never ends.
This is a heck of a game.
From the combine.
This is why you want to run at the combine, because now you get another crack at it.
To the draft.
He hustles, he's tough, he's got Pro Bowl potential.
To the Super Bowl. All day, every day, exclusive access.
It's training camp where the real work comes into play.
On the field.
What does this win do for the Vikings?
And off.
I've realized what my purpose is now.
This is our history.
I wanted to play for anyone who would play the Packers.
Our next generation.
With the first pick in the NFL draft.
This is our everything. Showtime. This is NFL Network.
Where can you throw the best pregame tailgate in Charlotte without worrying about a thing? What about steps from Bank of America Stadium before Panthers home games? 3 distinct hospitality villages will be sure to impress your guests. Gourmet food and beverage, stunning decor, live bands, and the best Panthers entertainment available. Learn more about corporate hospitality at panthers.com/tickets.
When I leave in the morning, it's so cold. Midday, it's hot, and then now it's getting cold again, but...
Yeah, it's a little confusing out there.
It is.
I mean, if we take a look at our current conditions right now, we'll see that it's about 66 degrees outside. We've got a little bit of humidity, right around 32%. Not too much wind, moving it towards the east at about 2 miles an hour. If we move to our current conditions around the state, you'll see that 66 in Columbia, like I said, 67 in Myrtle Beach, 69 in Charleston, 68 in Hilton Head, pretty similar to what we're seeing here. Up in the upstate, 65 in Greenville, 65 in Rock Hill, so a little bit cooler there. If we move to tonight's lows, you'll see that it'll cool down quite a bit tonight. It should be in the 40s in Columbia, 44, 47 in Orangeburg, 43 in Florence, a little bit cooler there. A little bit warmer along the coast, 55 in Hilton Head, 51 in Charleston. Up in the upstate, like I said, it'll be cooler, 40 in Rock Hill, 46 in Greenville. If we go ahead and move towards our national map, you can see that there's a lot of varying temperatures all around the country. Up in the north, you see it's 38 in parts of Minnesota, but it's also 50. If you go down to the south, you'll see it's actually 80 in Texas, 83 in Tampa, 70s across the southeast. Moving into the northeast, you can see that it's 59 in Detroit, 58 in Buffalo, 42 in Boston. It's quite a lot of varying temperatures, like I said. If we move towards our 5-day forecast, you can see that 66, 67 outside today with a low of 44. As we move to tomorrow, it should warm up a little bit. 72 is the high, another low of 42, so it'll cool down quite a bit at night. If we move into Thursday, it should be pretty sunny outside, a high of 68 with a low of 50. And then moving into Friday, we'll see mostly cloudy with a high of 68 and a low of 47. And then moving to Saturday, we might actually see a little bit of rain. We've got a high of 59 and a low of 40, so we should keep an eye out for the showers. I don't know about what they're expecting with the percentages yet, but it should be good. We'll see. I don't know. I think it's funny that throughout, we've been talking about how we're ready for it to be cold, more, colder weather. But I'm ready to go back to
Ready for warm?
Yeah.
Already done with it.
Up next on Carolina News, the women's soccer team has made it to the Final Four. We'll find out who they face.
Open road, here comes the Heffley family.
Whether it's a short trip or a long haul.
Estimated time, 47 hours.
They will beg.
You're hungry? I'm happy to provide.
They will plead.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
But whatever you do, don't wimp out.
Now you're talking.
Make them buckle up.
He can't hurt.
Remember, safety first. Cheese curls second.
Are you orange?
Testing. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. Why don't you ever see elephants hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it. Yeah, I get it.
Welcome back to Carolina News. And you know I'm a big soccer fan.
Yeah.
So pretty excited about the women's right now. So what do we got, man?
Well, coming off a big win against Florida to advance to the Final Four for the first time in school history, the women's soccer team is now turning their focus on Stanford. Now, if the Lady Gamecocks are able to defeat Stanford, they will either face Duke or UCLA on Sunday. Ladies' confidence is high due to them outscoring opponents 7-0 throughout the first 4 rounds of the tournament. The game will be held in Orlando City Stadium and is set to air at 5 p.m. on ESPNU. Last night, the USC's men's basketball team went on the road to face Florida International University. Sophomore guard Chris Silver led the way with a career-high 26 points and 10 rebounds, his 7th career double-double. Now, FIU did not go down without a fight, though, forcing Carolina to turn the ball over 14 times in the first half alone. The Gamecocks would have a monster second half by putting up 40 points and win by the score of 78-61. Now up next for the men, a trip to Madison Square Garden for the 2nd annual Under Armour reunion versus Temple on Thursday. Now tonight kicks off the debut of Carolina Calls with men's head basketball coach Frank Martin. Martin will be joined by the voice of Gamecocks men's basketball, Derek Scott, to talk about the current season and take calls from fans. The show will air live from Wild Wings Cafe in the Vista and will start at 7 p.m. Moving on to women's basketball now. The women's basketball team suffered their first loss of the season to Notre Dame on Sunday. The 92-85 loss put a sour taste in the mouth of the team and fans, but head coach Don Staley believes that the ladies will use this loss as a learning experience.
You know, I don't like to lose, but I'm encouraged by what I saw out there on the floor. And we got some players that had a little heart. That's what I'm looking for. We can play with a little bit more heart throughout a 40-minute game. We're going to be all right, but we grew up tonight.
The Lady Gamecocks will face Western Carolina on Thursday as they try to get back to their winning ways. Finally, coming off a disappointing loss to state rival Clemson, the Gamecocks are looking to bounce back in their final bowl game. While most players and fans are hurt to lose to the Tigers, wide receiver Brian Edwards says that it's time to move on.
For me, I mean, when we win, when we lose, it's kind of a one-day rule. You just kind of take it in that night. And, next morning you get ready to move on to the next week, the next opponent. But, and we're just going to be waiting to see who we play in the bowl.
The Gamecocks will find out who and where they play on December 3rd. So for us, that's going to be a big game for us. We really need to come back win after that loss against Clemson.
So it still stings a little bit,
Yeah.
but if anything can get us out of that, it's the holiday season.
That's right.
Coming up after the break, a family in Massachusetts had a difficult time getting their tree back home this year. Find out more about this family's giant tree and their viral encounter with law enforcement.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be flood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So, I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We have officially kicked off the most wonderful time of the year, but one Massachusetts family may have trouble rocking around their Christmas tree. Police in Sudbury, Massachusetts posted this picture on Facebook of a vehicle they pulled over with a giant tree on top, but giant may even be an understatement. The department posted the picture in hopes to remind people to transport holiday trees responsibly. So before you have yourself a merry little Christmas, make sure your tree branches are a little less than lovely than this one. That's crazy.
Are you sure that ain't the Griswolds from Christmas Vacation?
You know, it could be, honestly, at this point.
A little much.
Well, that's all the time we have today, guys.
But we're going to go to our 5-day first.
Yeah, like I said, if we look at the 5-day forecast, we'll see similar temperatures for most of the week. As we move into the weekend, we could see a little bit of rain on Saturday with highs of around 59 and lows of about 40. So,
well, I guess that wraps it up. That's all we have today, folks.
Thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great weekend.